Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chief Executive Officer Bill Coleman.
Last year on this stage, I introduced the concept of the digital twin. The digital twin was meant to represent the power of information for good, to change the world in many, many ways. Well, here we are, 1 year later, and our digital twin's all grown up, literally. Massive amounts of data, and it's everywhere. It's complex, it's hard to manage. A lot of it is even invisible and hard to find. And in a world where everybody has a digital twin, if you can't track it and you can't understand it, you're not going to be able to harness the power of information. And more importantly, you're not going to be able to understand the truth in information. The truth in information is the theme of this conference. Lynn did a great job just introducing it. But it's also the motto of our company, and it's something we really, really believe in. Now, it's also the reason I took this job. I've been around the industry a long time, a fact that becomes obvious to me when I look in the mirror every morning. But during that time, I've lived through the greatest transformations and disruptions in the IT industry. And one thing I've discovered is the truth in information continuously changes as things move on. So let me reflect. 1991, seems like a long time ago. I was at Sun Microsystems running software development, and we were building a new operating system called Solaris. But what Sun did was kill the mini computer by enabling client-server and distributed computing. And the truth at that time became the network is the computer. Fast forward 5 years, 1995. In many ways, that was a seminal year. That's when the world woke up and discovered the internet. And the truth then became the internet is everything. Bricks and mortar are dead. We're going to change the world, etc. During that year, every major technology company announced they were going to become the next internet company. December of '95, Bill Gates stood up and announced that they were going to become an internet company and they were going to own the browser. Big war between a company called Netscape, which had recently gone public and was the leader, and Microsoft. But the truth really was, the only thing the internet represented in 1995 was a browser and some portals. Oh, and try to find the portals. Oh yeah, there was a little dorm room startup with two guys which had a little server that created an index called Yahoo. But, you know, the internet was about spinning your logo on your portal and hope somebody could find it. The promise was it was going to change the world. Well, to do that, you need to be able to run things across the entire multi-cloud world. And making distributed applications work was rocket science. And I had what I call my epiphany, and that is, if the network's going to be the computer, the network needs an operating system. Something to make distribution free for applications and provide reliability, scalability, and manageability across the network. So I founded BEA, and we built the web app server and enabled multi-tier, three-tier applications in a multi-cloud world. Now, that's all well and good, but that's all about technology. This next wave is the most important of all, and we get to live through it. That's why I came back to work. Veritas gets to lead this revolution. this whole digital transformation that's going on. Now think about the world of technology. We've been in the information age for 40 or 50 years. But it hasn't been about information, it's been about technology. And where's technology today? A multi-cloud, software-defined, hyperscale world. That's what we're moving into, in which all technology just becomes a utility. It'll fade into the background. Now we finally get to move from technology to information. And this is where the power is going to be. This is the really exciting thing. Now, as we've talked about, information is a powerful thing. Harnessing the power of information can really change the world for the good. But, as I mentioned earlier, the other side of our data twin is information's exploding, it's everywhere, makes it complex, hard to manage, costs are going through the roof, and your risk is doing nothing but rising with all these compliance and governance requirements that just keep going. This is a duality, and that's where we live, and we have to solve both parts of that duality. That's the truth in information going forward. So almost 20 months ago, we separated Veritas from Symantec. And I started and looked around and discovered something. Information was growing like crazy, but the pressures on pricing were so dramatic that we weren't growing. What we figured out is that our customers, enterprise IT in particular, had three priorities. Number one, cut IT costs. The first few weeks, I met with the CIOs of two of the largest banks in the world. The first one said, I have to cut IT costs by $500 million. How can you help? The second one said, I have to cut IT costs by $1 billion. How can you help? Well, that was the first priority. The second is spend whatever's necessary to meet these escalating governance and compliance problems. So lower money, but spend more here. And the third was we have to do digital transformation, or we're not going to exist in this world going forward. Well, the thing about digital transformation is it's all about information. And if you can't harness the power of that information, you're not going to be able to solve your customers' problems, bring your customer value. You're not going to be able to compete, and your business economics are going to decline. So we had to step back and say, are we relevant? And you know what we found? We were considered the best, most reliable, most scalable storage, backup, recovery, archiving, #1 in the world, highest customer satisfaction scores, highly profitable, but in a declining market because we were mostly considered legacy. And if you're trying to have to spend on new things, but cut IT costs, it comes out of legacy. So we were in a real dilemma. The leadership team sat down and determined what we thought we had to do. We came up with a plan. We went to our good partners, Carlyle and the board, and said, we got to spend a lot more money, and we can win the digital transformation wars. And they said, do it. So we're growing R&D. But we decided there are 4 problems that we had to solve. The first is the data is everywhere. It's not just in your data center. It's not just in a public cloud. As a matter of fact, surveying our customers, our average enterprise customer is already using 3 public clouds. And it's scattered across many, many SaaS applications. You don't get to do governance just based on what's in your data center. You've got to attack it all. This will take a platform, something that can work end to end. The second is we were just barely moving into cloud. We had to become multi-cloud. Because people are using multiple clouds, you have to be able to visualize it all, mobilize it all, manage it all, and analyze it all. The third is visibility to that data. You have to be able to see it. I met with one of the largest banks in Europe talking about GDPR, and their head of strategy says, we don't even know how to find the personally identifying information with customers. You have to be able to visualize it, and then categorize it, manage it, and analyze it. And finally, it has to be an intelligent system. You have to be able to automate that end-to-end with a software-defined storage policy and orchestration, and provide the analytics to be able to categorize and move forward and act on that data. So those were the four things. Well, a year ago, I stood on this stage and I gave you our vision. And the vision was based on building that platform. And I'm here to tell you today, we've done it. Number one, we've introduced the 360 data management platform. It includes 7 new products, all integrated. And it is really, really doing well. We started in December with the beginnings of it. We had it fully available in May. You can buy it as a single SKU, subscribe to it, use it in any way you want. You don't have to leave anything behind. It's an amplification of our current products. We made it multi-cloud. Every product runs in cloud, across cloud, on-prem, to and from. It's a multi-cloud world, and you have to be able to manage it that way. We created the cloud partnerships. We are the premier partner for information management for Microsoft, Amazon, Google, and IBM, and there are more to come. And finally, we made it intelligent with a software-defined storage framework and the analytics capabilities. So here we are today with an end-to-end platform. We're the only company that has that. Our competitors are still stuck with their point, non-integrated products that don't allow you to visualize beyond the data they have stored in their own backup. So we're very proud of where we are. But there's more. Today and tomorrow, we're going to make a set of announcements. 4 areas. First, we consider the ultimate in data protection. You'll hear our NetBackup 8.1 and appliance announcements. Second, we're going to extend our partner relationships with the cloud service providers. A major announcement next from Microsoft to kick that off. Third, remember you got to visualize all these things? We're going to add 23 data sources. I mean, you can do S3 and NetBackup and all today, but we're adding 23 more. Whether it's the Google storage or Azure storage or Oracle or Office 365 or Box, that will be part of it. And going forward, we're going to add every quarter more and more. So you can manage 360 degrees, all your unstructured data and much of your structured data. This allows you to solve things like 360 data management. Finally, we're going to announce our next generation intelligent software-defined storage and a complete object store, completing the entire package. So it's going to be an exciting week. But what's next? Last year when I stood here, I talked about the 360 data management, but I talked about something beyond that. I was calling it Enterprise Data Management Platform. The concept's very simple. It's not just your data. If you're going to do digital transformation, you have to also encompass and include in your predictive analytics and your machine learning any other data source in the world that helps you with your business, to meet your customers' needs, to harness the power of information. So we're building that platform. Cloud native, intelligent analytics. It's an end-to-end purpose-built microservice container-based architecture that includes an entire analytics plane and service facility. We'll have a software development kit We will work vigorously with anyone in the world that's building analytics and machine learning applications, particularly for vertical markets, to help you solve your problems and give you that suite of information. And it's not a throwaway what you have. This is an evolution to where we are. We will never require our customers to switch at any time. They can migrate without having to do a lift and shift to go to the new environment. So we're really excited. The next 2 days, I think, are going to be a fabulous conference. I hope you take full advantage of it. And I want to thank our sponsors, the media, analysts, and our partners who are here. Without them, we couldn't offer you the solutions to make you succeed. Most of all, I want to thank our customers. We're only in business because of our customers. Our values include providing customer value by inventing the future and being the trusted company you can count on now and to future-proof you for the going forward. Have a great conference, and thank you very much.